Hello, my name is Alan Hancock and I'm a member of the Cruise Lecturers Association. After more than 30 years service with South Yorkshire Police, I retired in June 2013. During my police career, I've been involved with investigations of just about every kind, from nuisance neighbours to horrific murders. About 17 years ago, my career took a dramatic turn when I was deliberately run down by a fleeing criminal. I suffered life-threatening injuries that night, but did eventually return to work, albeit in a very different role. I became a link between the police, schools and colleges, eventually becoming the police advisor to many education establishments. And I remained in that role till the end of my career. The work I did and the programmes I devised attracted a number of awards over those years, the last one being the Lifetime Achievement in Policing Award in 2009. But I suppose you could be wondering why I'm dressed like this. My main presentation is Jack the Ripper, the Crimes and Solution. This is the result of 6 years intensive research into the Whitechapel murders of 1888. It's a major presentation, taking about 2.5 hours in total. I've been delivering this event for some time in a variety of venues around the UK, mostly theatres and usually to sell-out audiences. However, I've also presented it in schools, colleges, community groups, and I've divided the presentation into 2 or even 3 parts. So it's possible for me to deliver this one in a full event, 2 or even 3 separate presentations, depending on the time available. For this presentation, I wear clothing that a detective of the era would wear, as this has always proven to add a little atmosphere. This is now becoming known in Ripper circles as the definitive Jack the Ripper presentation. I show almost 300 images via PowerPoint over the full presentation, and the last section reveals the actual identity of the killer, followed by the evidence that really does close this case once and for all. And by the way, I can almost guarantee the killer is not who you may think it was. But this isn't all I do, but I don't dress that way for everything. Another life-changing event in my career came when I was selected by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office to be deployed to Bosnia in the year 2000, shortly after the civil war there. This was to be a 12-month United Nations mission and is the subject of another of my presentations that I call A British Bobby in Bosnia. A bit of a tongue twister, I know. But during my time there, I worked with local police, the government, police officers from all over the world, but mainly the Bosnian people themselves. I saw firsthand the best and the worst that people can be. Some of my experiences I cannot speak about in the presentation. However, I can tell you about most of the work I did during that incredible year. How I worked with the Russian Special Forces, how I spent the best Christmas of my life, how I still remain the only British police officer to return from such a mission, having been awarded 4 medals. My time at Srebrenica, and how I found myself drinking vodka with a young man claiming to be Vladimir Putin's son. My third presentation is the Maybrick murder. James Maybrick became a suspect in the Whitechapel murders after a diary was allegedly found beneath the floorboards of his house, Battlecrease Mansion in Liverpool. Maybrick's wife Florence was sentenced to hang for his murder. I tell the story of the infamous Diary of Jack the Ripper, as well as the circumstances of the now famous Maybrick murder trial. All was not as it seemed, and this is a fascinating story of deceit, hatred and tragic injustice. And what do flypapers have to do with this case? You'll find out. My fourth and fifth presentations are completely different to the others. I've turned a police eye towards the most famous conspiracy theory of them all. Did Apollo 11 land on the moon in 1969? Was this the greatest hoax ever played on the world, or are the conspiracy theories simply chasing rainbows? We'll look at the evidence from both sides. I'll show photographs allegedly taken on the moon that do raise an eyebrow or two. We've been fooled, or have we? The audience will have to make their mind up on this one. My final presentation I titled The Secret FBI Files. This presentation takes the audience on a guided tour of declassified files that can be found in the vaults of America's famous Federal Bureau of Investigation. What do the American government really know about the Kennedy assassination, gangsters, UFOs, and other unexplained real-life phenomena? This presentation covers a variety of subjects, and many will be surprised by what information the FBI actually keep, as well as who they had files on. For example, Princess Diana, Frank Sinatra, Grace Kelly, Groucho Marx, Adolf Hitler, and yes, even Jack the Ripper himself. I hope this has whet your appetite at least a little, and I hope I can be of service to you in the future. Thank you, and thank you for taking the time to listen.